They said love is patient. They said love endures all things. But they never said love could turn you into a shadow of yourself. My name is Ngozi, and 5 years ago, my world broke into pieces. My husband, Chike, was a tall, strong man, Igbo businessman in Lagos, full of laughter, the kind of man who would stop at a buka to eat amala with strangers and pay for everyone's meal. When he had his accident along Third Mainland Bridge, the doctors told me he would never walk again. From that day, my life became tied to his wheelchair. I bathed him. I carried him from bed to chair. I wiped his drool when he couldn't swallow well. I massaged his legs at night, even when my own back was on fire from exhaustion. People called me Nneoma, the good wife, the strong woman. They clapped for me in church. They said, "God will reward you." But what did I get? Sleepless nights. Skin cracked from washing clothes and sheets that smelled of urine. A heart heavy with silence because the man I loved had turned bitter. Chike stopped thanking me, stopped looking at me like his wife. To him, I became an extension of the wheelchair, useful but invisible. Still, I endured. 5 years. 5 solid years. Until that Tuesday evening. Power had gone as usual, and the generator was coughing outside. I was in the kitchen, washing plates with one hand while balancing the phone to order drugs from the pharmacy. That was when I heard his voice, low, secretive. Chike was on the phone. I paused. His wheelchair was in the sitting room, and he thought the sound of the gen would cover his words. But I heard him. "Forget that woman, Jor," he said, laughing in a way I hadn't heard in years. "She's nothing more than a free servant. Do you know what it means to have somebody cooking, bathing you, cleaning up your mess, for free? For 5 years. I tell you, if not for my condition, I would have sent her packing. She's lucky I even allow her to stay." The plate slipped from my hand and broke into the sink. Free servant. That night, I lay on our bed staring at the ceiling fan that refused to rotate because there was no light. My heart was heavier than the generator fumes seeping through the window. Tears slid silently into my ears, but I did not move. For the first time in 5 years, I didn't wake up to turn his body at 2 a.m., so he wouldn't get sores. I let him stay however he was. At dawn, I cooked his food, but I did not greet him. I set the tray before him and watched as he looked away, uninterested, unbothered. That was when I knew. The man I had loved died the day of that accident. The body left behind was just a prison of flesh. Something broke in me, but something also woke. That week, I packed my clothes. My heart trembled, but my spirit felt free. I left him with his driver and a hired nurse from the agency. He could now pay for what he once called free. As I dragged my small box down the stairs of our Surulere apartment, I did not cry. For the first time in years, the sun felt like mine. People will say I abandoned my husband. People will say I was wicked. But tell me, after 5 years of giving my life, after sacrificing my youth, what was left for me? Today, I live in a one-room apartment in Aja. I sell Ankara fabrics online. It is not easy, but it is mine. My back still aches, my hands still tremble from memory, but my spirit is alive again. And every time I hear his voice in my head, calling me a free servant, I smile because he freed me without knowing it. I was never a servant. I was a wife. And now, finally, I am a woman learning to live again.